Welcome to the D&D world. Welcome to the D&D world. Welcome to the D&D world.
Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
Whoa! Frustrated isn't the goddamn word for it! This is bullshit!
Oh, we apologize, ladies and gentlemen.
Me! Everybody screws me, and nobody does a goddamn thing about it! Nobody in the building cares, nobody in the dressing room cares. So much goddamn injustice around here, I've had it up to here!
We apologize, ladies and gentlemen.
Everybody knows it, I know it, everybody knows it. I should be the World Wrestling Federation champion.
Get him out of the ring.
Everybody just keeps turning a blind eye. You keep turning a blind eye to it. I got that Gorilla Monsoon. He turns a blind eye to it. Everybody in that goddamn dressing room knows that I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Cut him off.
If you don't like it, tough shit.
Suplex City, bitch.
Thank you for downloading episode 29 of Suplex City Limits for October 18th, 2015. As always, I am Jim Vicious, along with the Terry Gordy to my Michael Hayes.
Oh, you guys know who this is by now. It's Rando Commando coming at you.
Along with the Buddy Roberts to the group. Welcome, Charlie Stabile, to the show from New Blood Rising Podcast. How are you, sir?
I'm good. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure having you.
The pleasure's all yours. Suplex.
What a Michael Hayes thing to say.
A Michael Hayes thing to say would be if I called you the N-word.
Hey man, South Carolina, you got to be careful with that.
Right? No shit.
Suplex City Limits Podcast is a member of the OSW Podcast Network on PileDriverWrestling.net. Available for listening on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, and everywhere else fine podcasts are found. Like us on Facebook.com/SuplexCityLimits. Follow us on Twitter @SuplexCityLimit. You can also follow me directly @JimVicious, SCL. If you would like to help the show, you can donate on PayPal, SuplexCityLimits@gmail, or our Patreon account, /SuplexCityLimits. How goes it, gentlemen?
Fantastic.
Ready to talk about some wrestling.
Ready to talk about the death days of WCW?
Oh, yeah, sure. That seems to be what's getting me over nowadays. So
You've become an expert, man.
yeah,
You know?
not my life ambition, but it has worked out that way.
Some people are experts in art, music. You're an expert of the death days of WCW.
Jesus.
You just feel terrible about it.
That's an exclusive list, man.
So yeah, tell our listeners who haven't checked out your podcast, they should. Just tell us a little bit about New Blood Rising podcast, man.
New Blood Rising podcast basically is a podcast where we chronicle not just the final days, but basically when we thought WCW started going bad all the way to the end, which was when Vince Russo first came on to try to do his Attitude Era of WCW back in Halloween Havoc '99, because that's when things really turned around. For the worse, just call it like it is.
Dude, the amount of pole matches went through the roof.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. Here's something that was unexpected about the podcast. You know the Judy Bagwell on a pole match?
Oh yeah, we've talked about that.
Yeah, many of times.
The one
yeah.
surprising thing that nobody talks about is that the actual match itself is pretty decent. Like the match that with the two wrestlers that go into that's not bad.
What is it, Buff Bagwell and Canyon?
Yeah, Buff Bagwell and Canyon. You know, I never knew Canyon. Yeah, I never knew Canyon was in the match, and I always thought he was a very underrated wrestler. So
I liked him as Mortis.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Mortis.
I watched an episode of Nitro from like '98 today, and like fucking Mortis is badass, man.
Yeah. No, the Canyon was great and very underutilized, and we talked about it in one of the episodes. He plays a heavily prominent role in the Ready to Rumble film.
Oh God.
Yeah, he's Oliver Platt's stunt double.
I mean, being in that movie is probably what drove him to the end that he has.
Oh God. Oh, it's not that bad. It has its moments.
It's pretty fucking terrible. I've seen.
Yeah, we weren't going to hold out our hopes for the Criterion Collection.
Yeah, I've never seen the movie, but I've watched about fucking 10 podcasts break it down.
Yeah, I saw OSW do it, and they were particularly critical. But
Wrestling with Regret did it as well. He did a really good one.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that guy.
Yeah,
I
man.
just discovered him like 2 months ago.
Yeah, we had got in touch with him
Really?
about getting on the show, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll check out your show and get back to you." It was right after we had Yuck Nasty. I don't know if you know that cat. He's from the Get in the Corner podcast, and it was the most absurd episode of our show ever.
The wheels fell off the fucking car on that one.
Yeah, we barely talked about wrestling. It was so offensive and just a fucking gross show. So I imagine he listened to that and he's like, these guys don't know shit about wrestling. So,
oh, well. Yeah, well.
maybe we'll have him on in the future.
Yeah, I hope so. I like him. He has a good take on things.
Yeah. So I would propose about the Death Days, man, that it is absurd and it is terrible, but I actually kind of enjoy it. Like, it's so ridiculous that it's entertaining. I watched one of the pay-per-views, and like every single match had a stip.
Yep.
And it was just like crank the knob up and tear it off, you know?
Well, that's Vince Russo's philosophy. Was he didn't find any part of the actual wrestling match interesting. He thought the best parts of a wrestling match are the beginning and the end. And we figured, well, that's because he can't control what happens in the middle.
Probably, right?
Yeah. So that's why he builds it up with all these stipulations and interference run-ins by guys who aren't even in the damn storyline.
Yeah, we're not fans of Vince Russo on this podcast.
No. And
We are.
Will. Go ahead.
We are Twitter blocked from Vince Russo.
Yeah. Speaking of,
it's on.
I want to take a brief sidestep here. Speaking of Twitter blocked.
Awesome. I know where this is going.
This week I had an exchange with Baron Corbin. The shit Nami of NXT. And I thought that was fucking great, man. I just so during the NXT episode this week, I just said that, you know, if Corbin wins, we riot. You know, hashtag Cruise for Champ. And drew him out of his cave, man. And actually worked pretty good. That was pretty funny, man. And at the end of it, I'm like, I guess he can fucking work heel maybe after all, but I did talk some shit to him. It's like he said, "Be real, you will just cry and write stupid things on Twitter."
Oh, didn't he say something like
Oh,
your four listeners agree with you or something?
No, then
like
I
that?
said, I suppose we could always take your route and cut a weak promo about it. to which he responded, "Yeah, your 97 followers would be thrilled." And then I said, maybe you can work heel after all. So that guy's the shits. And it's funny, too, that when he said, you'll get real and cry about things on Twitter, dude, 36 people retweeted that. And I was like, fuck.
Oh, man.
Who likes that guy?
Roman Reigns fans, man.
He's Roman Reigns, but his Q is more appealing to my white sensibilities.
I told you I finished last week's Raw this morning.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I've missed in the last 3 weeks, but the vitriolic hatred for Roman Reigns was just over the top from the fans. Like, they were eating him alive during his in-ring promo that he actually had to. It was bad. He had to interrupt his own promo and talk to the fans. It's just so awful.
I propose that guy is never gonna bounce back from that premature push that he got.
Oh, I mean, I was thinking about it too, because he was over with the Shield, and then he took like, what was it, 5 or 6 months off for that injury, and he came back and won that one Royal Rumble, the second one where Daniel Bryan didn't come in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was it. I don't think he's recovered from it since, and he's just languishing in the mid-card with Bray.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah. I agree with you.
If he does, it's going to take a long time, but that's the problem that they have, is the way that they're doing shit is why they're trying to force a guy that he can't talk, he can't really wrestle, he doesn't really have any of the qualities one would look for in a fucking star wrestler.
Nope, he's got a look. I do think he has a look, and as Will would say, he inherited all of the Shield trademark memorabilia after they split, because for some reason he still comes out to the Shield music, still dressed up like he's a member of the Shield.
Yeah, I didn't get that either. I thought that was a missed opportunity to kind of set the guy out, but I mean, there's just nothing there. It screams to the fact that company needs to bring back managers.
Oh yeah. Which, speaking of managers, the way that I didn't see it on Raw. I'd read about it before I saw it, but the way they handled the whole Rusev, Lana, Summer Rae storyline, I think they seem to be going out of their way to ruin Rusev.
Oh yeah, that guy's done too. I
think he's toast. Yeah, and this one I can't blame on John Cena. I don't think. So.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much got us into Raw here, so it's just abysmal. Yeah. And the ratings every week are worse than the last, which is good. Mm-hmm. I like it. I don't contribute to their ratings. I watched illegally on purpose.
On purpose.
I do. If you're going to watch it in a way that does not give them any TV ratings. Fuck them. Because that's the only way anything's going to happen, is if it goes to shit. But yeah, Raw, man, it's just bad. It's really bad. And I think that I'd rather watch those, those Russo-era WCW shows than watch this shit.
I made it as far into Raw as, when did New Day come out? Whenever they finished is when I stopped watching it.
That's a good time to stop, because New Day is basically the one thing that's keeping me on.
Right.
I'll watch anything that those guys do. To finally find a way to get Kofi over. I've been a Kofi Kingston fan since the beginning, and
agree.
Ever since that Randy Orton incident. Yeah, which I remember watching that live. I thought Kofi was going the way of Kennedy on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked the guys in-ring work and stuff. Mm-hmm. So it is,
I like all three. I like all three of them cats, man. I think they work really well
Xavier
together.
Woods. I mean, he's a natural-born entertainer.
Worst leg drop ever.
Yeah, I'm constantly finding myself listening to what he's saying outside the ring, kind of like this is not a good comparison, but Bobby Heenan used to do that.
Right.
Yeah, and Jimmy Hart with his megaphone and stuff.
Oh yeah, yep.
Just baby. Just constantly talking. Jesus, he won't stop.
Speaking of Jimmy Hart, I just rewatched Legends House on the network.
The whole thing?
Yeah, I watched it originally when it came out, and then I just rewatched it again, and I watched it with my chick. And one of the few things on that channel that you can get a non-wrestling fan to watch, and they'll enjoy it.
Sure.
And dude, Jimmy Hart is so awesome. They need season 2 of that show.
I agree. We have a couple of dream lists of guys that we'd love to see in this house.
I was gonna say, who would you guys like to see, man? Let's talk about that.
I mean, recent incidents notwithstanding, I definitely want Hogan and Bret Hart in that house. Hogan will be back. WWE always has a way of working that shit out. But Hogan and Bret, basically anyone with Bret, like Shawn Michaels or Ric Flair, someone that Bret didn't get along with back in the day.
Everybody. I was going to say that, yep.
Throw Kevin Nash in there. No. Throw Scott Hall in there.
I read something to where WWE offered him a Legends contract, so we might get that. You know, at least Scott Hall into that if they're going to do a season 2 of it. So. Well,
I mean, I read recently within the last couple of weeks that he fell off the wagon again.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's going back to bunking with DDP. Try to get your shit together. Yeah.
Speaking of that, I watched the Table for Three, the newest. Actually, I watched both of them last night. The one with Ambrose and Cesaro, and then I watched the newest one with Vader and DDP and Sting. So I watched them both. They were both pretty good. I thought Vader's stories were probably the best out of all of them.
I fucking love Leon White. That guy's
Vader. Yeah, the best monster wrestler ever.
Yep.
That's probably true, man. That's true.
I loved Vader, and I remember. I think when I was 10 years old, and I thought he killed Gorilla Monsoon.
Oh yeah, dude. Yep.
I thought he was dead. I remember just being so upset because I loved Gorilla Monsoon. So it made me hate Vader instantly, which I was like, yeah. But I never thought WWE utilized him the way that he should have, like WCW did. That's one of those.
His run is a fail over there.
Right.
Well, it's because he was supposed to win the damn title from Shawn at SummerSlam.
Right.
Yeah, and Shawn wouldn't do it. And, I mean, Vader beats him twice in the match, and it restarts.
Yeah, and also in that too, they didn't work well together. Michaels thought he worked too stiff, and he did. He was fucking stiff, man.
Oh yeah.
So Michaels was complaining about it backstage, and.
Well, I always remember that spot. You can see it on the camera when Shawn jumps off the top rope and it looks like something goes wrong. And he just lands on his feet and then he stomps Vader's head right into the mat and starts yelling at him. I always remembered that. Like, what the hell just happened?
Oh, that's legit right there, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Shawn, he barking up the wrong tree, man.
There's a lot of people, man, who think, he's the shit. And he's never been somebody that I ever really liked. I mean, his in-ring was good, obviously, but I was never really a fan of him.
He was a charismatic motherfucker, too, man. He had charisma up the fucking ass, so.
He's one of those guys that's like, our podcast's kind of different because, we're not big on, Undertaker or Sting. No? Any of those guys, really.
I was a big Undertaker fan when I was a kid, but, growing up, watching it and everything.
We have, 23, 24 people in our Hall of Fame, and none of those people are in there yet.
No way.
But yet, guys like the great Sasuke and Mil Mascaras and shit, those guys are. I don't know. I guess I just like different guys,
Yeah, we definitely got a different take on things when it comes, to your standard wrestling fan, I guess, Whereas most people would put in Hogan and guys like that, but we just Hogan and Nash and guys like that. Those guys will never be in our Hall of Fame.
No.
Hogan and Nash are two that will never be in our Hall of Fame. Never.
There's a lot of fucking people who will never be. Yeah, I don't know. We're just kind of weird, I guess. We kind of both grew up old NWA fans more than WWE, and I still say, man, to me, even Attitude Era, even included, I still said WCW was always more entertaining to me. I'd rather watch pretty much any era of WCW Nitro over the competing episode of Raw.
No way.
I'm serious.
Really?
Yeah, man. It's old school WCW. I mean, I like WWF. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it was, ever that great. The Attitude Era is pretty good, I suppose, but
Definitely.
I really watched it, and I'm like, it's not as good as everyone makes it out to be. There's some dog shit in there.
Oh yeah. Oh no. The people got nostalgia goggles on for Attitude Era, and WWE is constantly pushing Attitude Era stuff down our throats. Like, no. Remember when it was good? Yeah.
And it's the thing that too. It's something I wanted to talk about. I'm glad you brought that up. Is I always see, when they talk about how low the ratings are, the general internet population seems to always be like, blame the PG is the issue. And I'm not saying that I want a PG show. That was like, it needs to go back to the Attitude Era and shit. I'm like, this could be a completely PG show and still be really good.
Yep.
WWE was PG for the first 10 or 12 years.
Ring of Honor is PG, isn't it? I mean, there's nothing happening in Ring of Honor that wouldn't be PG, and it's a fantastic show.
Right, and they might drop a curse word here every once in a while, but that's about it on Ring of Honor.
No, I always thought the best handled storyline that WWE ever did was between Hogan and Macho Man. Back around WrestleMania 4 and 5.
Okay, with the whole with the Elizabeth thing.
Elizabeth. Yep. I love that storyline to death.
That's what made that storyline there, because I started really, like, my first conscious memories was right around that time, and then the first big pay-per-view was the SummerSlam with Macho and Hogan against what was it, Andre and Ted DiBiase?
Mega Bucks.
The Mega Bucks or the Mega Powers, or
yep.
No, they were the Mega Powers
versus Mega Bucks.
Okay.
Yep.
That's when I first started, as a little kid, getting into it really heavy, and that was I'd have to say that their handling of that storyline was really good.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, the only thing that hurts it in retrospect is if you go back and watch it now, Macho Man is absolutely right.
Yeah.
and he's portrayed to be the heel.
Right.
And it's like, no, I would have reacted just like he did.
Right.
That's one thing I would say about this podcast is that in the land of Suplex City Limits, Macho Man is the king.
Macho Man is always right.
Yeah,
I would say. I mean, he's my favorite wrestler of all time.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He's one of my absolute favorites.
He's
that style of wrestling that he had holds up over time.
His promo, like we can't stop gushing about Macho Man over here. So we both loved him. He was my favorite
the
guy.
cream of the crop.
That's right. And the cream always rises to the top.
Oh, great promo.
Yeah.
Anyway, my point being that was during the PG era.
Yeah.
And it worked wonders for them, I thought. So it's not. I don't think it's necessarily going back to TV 14. I think it would help, but in the long run, you also have to consider the fact that they had an unbelievable wealth of talent in the Attitude Era that could use TV 14 to their advantage.
Right.
Yeah, because I don't see a lot of these guys today being able to do that convincingly.
I could maybe count them on one hand that guys would be able to do that nowadays. As far
Probably.
as the Attitude Era. You got Ambrose and Wyatt. Those are the first two that stick out to in my head. You got Ambrose and Wyatt that could probably do something if they went back to a TV 14. But like you said, man, I really don't see a whole lot of other guys being able to do something like that.
Right. I think the real problem is the writing.
Absolutely.
And the booking.
And the book. You always hear about these former wrestlers that watch the product now and go, all their promos are scripted.
Yep.
Every single one. And you can definitely tell with Roman Reigns.
Oh God.
God.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like he's remembering as he's going. There's no
He's
conviction there.
Fucking reading cue cards off the side. They got a guy just off camera with cue cards or something.
Yeah, he's got in there or something, dude.
Yeah.
God, he is the shits.
No.
But they've always done that kind of shit where, they had Lex Luger. They tried to make him Hogan #2, the Lex Express and shit.
Oh man,
they had
good
guys, and it's like, let's take this guy who can't talk, he can't really work, he's just a body. They're still stuck in that.
Well, let's talk about that for a second, because Lex Luger is very prominent on our show. For being in the final days of WCW. I was a kid during that Lex Express stuff, and even as a kid, I remember thinking, he just won the match by a countout against Yokozuna for the title, and they drop all the confetti and
yeah,
and they're lifting him up on their shoulders, and I'm like, this kills him, he looks like a complete moron.
Yep.
You know, it's like he's acting like he won the title, but no one apparently explained to him the rules.
Yeah, he doesn't know the rules of pro wrestling. Never been a fan of that guy either. He's the shits.
Yeah. First wrestler I ever tagged hands with. I remember that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he beat Crush in a stretcher match at a house show down here.
And where are you at again? Do you disclose where you are?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we're out of Greenville, South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that show though was in Charleston. Stretcher match.
You've been down there your whole life?
No.
Oh, okay.
Moved around a lot.
I was gonna say this guy's no
not
accent whatsoever.
No accent.
Well, I was
that's
gonna say
perfect.
no WCW love from down there in South Carolina either.
That's
I
true.
thought that was So.
If you grew up down there, you'd be right with us talking about fucking the NWA shit.
Well, yeah, because it's like, I'm from Ohio, but when we came down here, for some reason, the wrestling shows that we got for the most part were WCW. I didn't go to a Raw until about 2001 or 2.
They didn't even bother with that part of the country back then.
They didn't, but we got lots of Nitros, and I've got some good memories of going to Nitro. When I was like 9 and 10, just like, holy shit, I get to watch Hulk Hogan? Like, oh, that's incredible.
That's pretty cool that you can go back and watch them now too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the best. That's the best thing about the network. Yeah, and that I could throw all my burnt DVDs away. Because as Will from the podcast, Will used to say, you used to be my WWE network, because I had everything.
Right.
Yeah, so
I had a bunch of. I sold them all. There's no need for physical media anymore.
Sadly, that seems to be the case. I kind of pick and choose with my physical media now.
Yep.
Even games, I've just started downloading games to my Xbox One at this point. I got Forza 6. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna download it.
Well, it's not like it's not like you're selling that game like ever.
Exactly, it's like and GameStop can suck my dick. So
I think the last piece of physical media that I bought, besides a PlayStation game or anything like that, was a audio CD, and it was a Foo Fighters last album.
Yeah.
So that tells you about a year ago. That was released November of last year? Yeah. So that's the last piece of physical media that I bought.
That Foo Fighters album, not near as good as the last one.
Well, it's still pretty dang good. I thought it was really, not to get off track, but I thought it was a pretty inspirational album.
Talking about Sonic Highways.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah.
I had a lot of shit going on in my life. It was right after, huge loss and everything. So I that album kind of holds a special place in my heart.
I think Foo Fighters may be the most generally accepted band. Like, you can put on everybody. I've never really heard anybody go we'll throw on some tunes. You're like, you like Foo Fighters? Like, never heard anybody go, no, I fucking hate the Foo Fighters. It's impossible. I listen to predominantly metal, but fuck, I still love the Foo Fighters.
And Dave Grohl is just such a fucking fantastic human being.
The same as me. Like, I have a complete man crush on Dave Grohl.
You and me as well. Me as well. So, I mean, the guy can go. He can do no. What other fucking rock star is gonna fucking break his leg, and then get set back up on the stage and finish the fucking show? Nobody's gonna fucking do that. Nobody's gonna do that.
Not many people.
So,
that's for sure.
But anyway,
Foo Fighters. Random. Yeah, we get very off base on here.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's fine. We do the same thing.
But dude, that thing we were going, and we're talking about Legends House. That was a while back. I got distracted, but I proposed this question to our Facebook people, and Pulverizer Paul Johnson, guitar player of Gorgatron, guest from episode 17. His suggestion was Hogan, New Jack, Ron Simmons, Booker T, Stevie Ray, Ahmed Johnson, D'Lo, and Virgil.
You forgot Mark Henry in there, man.
You had me at New Jack.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's awesome. Leave it to Paul. Good one, Paul.
I was like, that's well fucking done.
Yes,
right there.
Very well done.
Speaking of that, to go back to one of your I think it was your previous episode. Did someone tell you guys to watch Hardcore Heaven '99?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great show.
I was trying to remember it. I couldn't offhand. I was like, I don't know. They all kind of, it's hard to remember exact shows offhand.
You get probably the best ECW match ever, which was I mean, they fought tons of times, but this was their best match. You had Rob Van Dam and Jerry Lynn.
Oh, yeah.
They tore it down at Hardcore Heaven.
What were some of the other matches on there?
Oh, let's see. I'm trying to remember. ECW Hardcore Heaven 99. We're getting there. Oh,
Right.
wow.
I took that moment just to have a coughing fit. All right.
I remember you had a weird main event. Taz fighting Bubba Ray Dudley. Yeah, you got weird stuff like that. Or Taka's on the show. Lance Storm and Tommy Dreamer had a match. I think even Sid Vicious made an appearance.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's interesting the people who show up in ECW from outside. Like, the one that everyone seems to forget is that Scott Hall once won the ECW title.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no one talks about that anymore, and because he had just been let go by WCW, which is interesting. Like we're getting towards the end of the WCW timeline here, and you still hear people in the crowd cheering for Scott Hall, and I mean I remember giving up on him like way before that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he was always in the news about the shit that he was doing. Yeah.
Didn't they do a pole match where one of the with boxes or something, and inside of one of the boxes was a portrait of Scott Hall?
Oh, Scott Booker T's holding it. Yeah, and it's just like, hey yo.
That's fucking great. So
Yeah.
I guess my question I have for what happens at the end of the arc, man? What happens to the podcast?
We've talked about it. I think we know what we would like to do, but I don't think Will wants to disclose that information just yet.
Okay, well you're going. I always wonder about that with these ones that, you kind of covering an arc or stuff like that. It's like there's a finite amount of stuff you got there.
Yeah, it's like Guns N' Roses. Well, where do we go now? Yeah.
You
Kinda
wait
like
10
that.
years and put out Chinese Democracy.
Ooh,
God.
man, I bought that the first day it came out too.
Man, let's not go there.
The most expensive record ever made.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason they released a greatest hits album, so that they could recoup the cost. But I think that Guns N' Roses greatest hits, that's one of the worst greatest hits albums I've ever seen.
They only had 3 good albums, really.
I would say Guns N' Roses only has one good album. I think they have good songs after that album, but as an album as a whole, no.
Yeah, Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 had some moments, but there's a lot of bullshit there.
I think to get on Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, I think the layout is what was a problem, because there's a lot of good tracks on both of them albums.
Yeah.
But I think the layout of the track list is what fucked that one up.
Yeah, so. I think if they had just condensed that into one album, it would have been stellar. I think my favorite Guns N' Roses song is on Use Your Illusion 2. So.
And that's the thing with that too. They didn't do it like a double album either. They did it two separate albums, and that was even at that time. I remember people being like, "What the fuck? Come on, man." But yeah, you're right. Usually, when you go into record, you would get rid of a couple of songs, and they just kept every song.
That just shows it, because Axl probably wrote them, and he's such a fucking egomaniac that they all had to stay on there. So.
The dude is an egomaniac.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, absolutely.
That's for sure. Well, I'm glad to hear that you guys will spin her into something else.
Yeah, we want to keep going with it. We just started doing a side project with doing a movie podcast. That's as a way to do basically not filler episodes, but something to keep us in our presence.
You've been doing movies for guys who like movies, right?
Yeah, movies for guys who like movies. And we haven't announced it yet, but the next movie we're covering, for Halloween, we're going to be doing Tremors.
Nice.
Which I was more than happy to agree to.
I saw Tremors 5 popped up on my Netflix the other day, and I was like, "Really, dude? Tremors 5?
I've seen it.
I think I'd rather watch Sharknado 3.
Oh no.
Do I have to watch the first two to pick up where the plot picks up on this one?
The subtle nuances.
There's a lot of plot points in there that you definitely will want to make sure you watch beforehand.
But yeah, we will probably continue with wrestling. But yeah, we'll announce it when the time's right.
There you go. Big. So you have other comments about Raw? You want to shit on anything else about Raw or what?
Let's see.
We got a limited amount of time with you here.
Sure. Raw in particular. You know what's not exciting?
Raw?
Besides Raw?
A specific point about Raw, and if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. A backstage vignette where Kane is on speakerphone with Triple H and Stephanie.
Oh, God. Yeah.
What are they thinking? Like, oh, my God. And having to watch Kane act, through the speakerphone. It's just... I don't know what the hell. Oh, and then it's like, I'm going to fight Seth Rollins later. Okay, so in my head I'm thinking he's going to come out as Demon Kane. And then he comes out as Demon Kane, and for some reason the commentating booth shits themselves. And like, I thought he was going to come out as Corporate Kane, but he's Demon. No. Why would... God damn it.
And then the fact that that Vince drove home, that you have to make the differential between Corporate Kane and Demon Kane.
Oh, I hate it. You know what I miss? Concessions Kane. When they had him working the concessions booth. Like, that could have gone on for, like, at least 3 years for me.
That's where that guy should be at this point.
Yeah.
To close, I guess one of the things I definitely want to talk about is I've always been more of a WWE guy than WCW, but I did love WCW for a time, and one wrestler that I loved was Sting. And what they have done with Sting since not really the beginning, but basically as soon as the Authority got power back in like 6 weeks, which negated his whole appearance, I'm almost to the point where I wish that Sting had never signed.
I think a lot of people are with you on that one, especially now that he's.
Yeah. It's garbage.
Right.
I mean, there are a lot of people that say that winning and losing in wrestling doesn't matter. I think that's bullshit. They've got a new documentary coming out for Sting, and I don't care. It's
ruined it for you, right?
They've ruined it. They've ruined it with him. Like, first of all, he fights Triple H at Mania. Triple H breaks out a sledgehammer, uses it to win, and then they shake hands afterwards.
Yeah. I think
that doesn't make sense.
I mean, we said from go, there's no excuse for any 56-year-old man to be in a wrestling ring wrestling. So I disagreed with it from the go. I was like, it's too late. It's too late for this to happen. Mm-hmm. But if it would have been one match at Mania, he beat Triple H, I would have been fine with that. Just that, it would have been cool. But losing to him and that booking of shaking hands and all this bullshit, and nearly dying in the fucking ring. Holy shit.
Well, yeah, then there's Seth Rollins, who is quickly becoming the most dangerous man to work with. Was that John Cena nose incident, which after seeing that replay 100 times, I'm like, that looks completely avoidable.
Yep.
What he did to him. And then what he did to Sting, which, I mean, it looks like he throws him too early into the turnbuckle, or too late. The timing looks completely off. And, yeah, that was terrifying to watch that. And then, of course, Sting to lose again.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only match that Seth Rollins has won. We talked about this last week. He lost 15 of 16 matches.
Yep.
In the last couple, he just lost again on this Raw.
He lost he lost to Kane, and I'm just like, well, of course Kane's going to win this because he's got to lose at the pay-per-view. It's terrible.
Even Stevens booking, man.
It's even Stevens booking, yeah, and that's something that we are not a fan of.
No, it's garbage.
No.
I hate it. And basically, if you're fighting, what is it? John Cena? Like, fighting John Cena, I think that's the one time you don't get even Stevens booking because you're just going to lose 3 pay-per-view matches in a row.
Yeah, speaking of which, I wanted to point out, I point out this little stat, which is really good. Here, I should be more prepared for this, but on May 18th this year, Kevin Owens debuted on Raw in a program with John Cena, and on October 15th, he wrestled Zack Ryder on SmackDown. Shout out to JD Proforce on that one.
it's a part of that whole thing where there are a lot of these wrestlers who are on the rise, and then it's like Cena realizes it and goes, no, and then he gets into a program with them, and they're basically shut out. They're knocked down to the mid-card level or lower. The one that I always remember that was really infuriating was who was Zack Ryder dating? Was it I always get these names mixed up, like Eva Marie, Eve Torres, Rosa Mendez. Like, they all sound the same.
I have no idea.
Well, John Cena ended up, like, stealing Zack Ryder's girlfriend. And I was like, well, if that doesn't turn him heel, I don't know what will. Because Ryder was incredibly over at that point. And no repercussions or anything. And anytime Cena, like, whether it's Rusev, Kevin Owens, some of the other people, he's come across.
Bray
Ziggler,
Wyatt.
Cesaro, Bray Wyatt. There we go. You got me back on track. These guys just flounder after a feud with John Cena. Yeah, and it's really sad because it's not like I don't like John Cena. I think John Cena is actually a pretty good wrestler. It's just the character and the way it's booked. You know, because I definitely think he could be used better, but WWE's afraid to take a chance.
They're gonna fuck themselves too on that. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it's gonna happen. Cena's already out for what, a month or two? He's taking up
6 weeks.
Time?
Yep.
6 weeks. Yeah, I think this is gonna become more and more of a thing as he nears 40. You know, to get on his way out the door, and there's no one that's there to take his place. They pissed off CM Punk enough. You know, he ain't coming back.
I heard he's doing a reality show to help fat people lose weight.
CM Punk?
CM Punk, really?
No, not CM Punk.
John Cena.
That would be awesome.
CM Punk is faking that he's going to do a UFC fight, and probably never fucking will.
Yeah, they're reporting that he's hurt or he hurt himself in training or some shit. So.
Oh no! He has to follow through.
Eventually, you'll get it.
Brock Lesnar did it. Why can't he do it?
I don't know. I don't know why anybody cares. I'm not like a huge, I mean, CM Punk was good, but those people who think he's like mythically good,
No, he's not mythically good. I would agree with a lot of people that Raw would be a lot better if he was still with the company.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean,
but then how many?
Summer of Punk was the last great time for WWE, I think.
Well, then, in here, you got to look at it on the other side of the card here too. Is how many fucking Cena Punk feuds would have been watching? It would have been all fucking year.
Oh no, yeah. There was enough of that as it was.
Yeah, there was enough of that as it was.
So you got to go here or what, sir? You got to.
I could probably go for another 5.
Okay, 5 minutes.
I could probably go for another. Yeah. Oh. Trust me, I'd much rather stay and talk about wrestling than go into fucking work.
Got to work on the weekends, man. That sucks.
Yeah. Well, I get like Sundays and Mondays off, so it's not so bad, and that's when we record the show.
Well, there you go. I also, dude, just want to point out how ridiculous it is that Sheamus and Barrett went over on Neville and Cesaro.
I was very surprised by that, too.
Yeah.
Well, Sheamus is kind of... I think it's good for him in a way because he's fallen into that pit that a lot of Money in the Bank winners get where they win the Money in the Bank and then they proceed to lose every match leading up to when they cash in. You know? So it's like, okay, maybe he needed the win.
Nobody believes that they're going to put the belt on that fucking guy.
I find it very hard to believe because they're talking about like giving him a major push next year, and I'm like, I think his time's passed.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
I remember when he first came in and killed Jamie Noble, and then he beat John Cena for the title at his first pay-per-view, and it was like, holy shit, we got a new main eventer, you know, and that was it. Yeah, because he lost the title shortly thereafter, and he's never been able to come back.
He's just a boring guy.
He's boring.
What I think with that too is that back in the day you'd have at least the jumping between companies. You had other options. Now you don't. These guys just don't leave, and you see them every fucking week.
We've said that too. That's one of the big problems with today is that nobody leaves.
You know, like guys like that, even Barrett. It's like, maybe if he left for an extended period of time and came back as something different, but there's just they're there forever. Kane, look at Kane and Big Show. 20 years, dude. 20 years.
Yeah.
And
Show.
Always on. Like watching some of these older Nitros. They have so many guys that you don't see them every single week.
Yeah. Well,
like all of a sudden you see Silver King or Liz Mark Jr. and you're like, fuck. Okay.
Is that El Dandy? Ooh.
Exactly.
I agree.
Get yourself an El Dandy match up in there.
The one guy I'm always ready for him to leave is Randy Orton. I am ready for him to go away for a long time. I swear fans cheer him by default.
I don't understand it.
I don't either. I think he's one of the smoothest wrestlers in the ring. Like he can pull off moves and take moves very well, but as a character, I mean, I love that he's a face because, I mean, this guy was one of the most sadistic wrestlers during his time. I mean, when he kicked Vince and Stephanie in the head and just like, oh, we can turn him face. Yeah.
It just seems like they have a very small roster. You know, they don't have a lot of guys.
No, which is interesting because you'd think the titles would mean more.
Yeah.
With a smaller roster. Like I hate what the Intercontinental title has become within the last couple of years. They figure if they make it look like the one that Mr. Perfect used to wear, then it must mean something again. But it didn't, and Cody Rhodes did the best that he could with it. But you know, now it's on Owens, and I love that it's on Owens, but I hate that he's fighting Ryback.
Yeah, dude.
Ryback's one of those that can go away and never come back, and I really feel bad about it.
And that's the thing, he just, you know, when you get him in the program, it just takes away, like, usually I'd be stoked about Owens' match, but when it's against Ryback, not really, you know?
No. Yeah, because I don't, you know.
He's got to carry that fucking big son of a bitch around, and there's nothing, Ryback brings nothing to a match in the ring, and the stories and shit are so, the angles are so bad that the only thing you really have to look forward to is two really good workers putting on a match, you know? That's really all you have to look forward to.
Yeah, guys that have chemistry, and yeah, to go back to what we were talking about there, Big Show, I swear to God, if I have to hear JBL or Michael Cole talk about how they've never seen this before when it comes to somebody picking up the Big Show.
Yeah.
I'm convinced I could body slam the Big Show at this point.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. I hate when the way the WWE acts, because it's really them at the moment where they treat their audience like they're complete morons.
Most of them are, though, I think. That would be my counterpoint, is I think most of them are.
That's drones, a fair point.
We call them the drones, man. The WWE drones. They're fucking... Like, this whole thing with Lesnar and The Undertaker, they don't even reference... Like, we already saw this, dude. Anybody with hair on their balls, like, we already saw this shit, man. And they don't even talk about it.
They're pulling a WrestleMania 27... where Undertaker fought Triple H, and they refused to reference the fact that they had just fought 10 years earlier at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Brock Lesnar and Undertaker had a great feud about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
They've already had a Hell in a Cell match that was a fantastic match. So, but they're acting like this all started at WrestleMania 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, no, this goes way back.
They don't even acknowledge their own history.
I don't like that. Yeah, it's the same company.
Yeah, it's really weird, man. The whole thing is very weird, and I think it's all on McMahon. I think he needs to go, and you know, they just need to like fucking drop him off out in the woods somewhere.
Damn it, no!
Like, we're gonna go for a car ride today. Okay.
Yay, car ride!
Exactly.
Poop my pants.
He's gotta be crazy. You don't see him anymore. I think he's blind. Like, a lot of people have said that they think he's blind, and WWE says not, but I bet he is. Something's wrong with him. You don't see him anymore.
Right.
No. The last we heard about him was on his birthday.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're like, he's not going to come out here. Like, why? That pissed me off. I was watching. Like, fuck him. That fucker, get out here. You know, come out. Well, he can't come out here. He was on TV every week for fucking years. Drag your ass out here.
Yeah. Maybe he's like in a wheelchair or something, man. They just don't want to. They don't want him to seem weak or something. You know what I mean?
It's just a weird thing. It'd be like, you know, it's like a dictator shit. You know, it's like if Hitler were sick. You know, they were when FDR was in a wheelchair and shit. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah.
You were there.
Yeah. We're almost fucking old enough for that shit. No, but they tried to hide it, you know, from the masses. It's almost a similar sort of thing, but I suppose, man. Hit everybody with your links and shit, your Twitter.
Yeah, sure. Let's see. The podcast is at New Blood Pod. I am at CM_stabs, and those are the handles. We're releasing What's this weekend? Oh, we're doing Used Cars, the old Kurt Russell movie that comes out on Sunday.
Awesome.
I fucking like that movie.
Yeah, Jason didn't, but me and Will are big fans of that movie. So
Sticks the bumper on with gum and shit.
Great movie. Yeah, so that's this weekend. Then after that, I think we're doing WCW Sin. Well, they tried to do the 7 Deadly Sins for pay-per-views.
Yeah,
they made it to 2.
Made it to Greed, yeah.
They made it to Greed. Whoops. Yeah.
The final. And you guys are on iTunes and all that jazz.
We are on iTunes. We're on Podbean. Will knows more about that stuff than I do.
The usual suspects, man.
We're not hard to find.
That's why I don't even mention all the sites that it's on. It's like it's fucking everywhere. Just find it.
Yeah, if you want to find it, you can find it. It's not rocket surgery,
There you go. Use some Steiner math. Figure it out. Awesome, man. Well, thanks for coming on the show and hanging out, talking a little wrestling, and sure we'll have you back sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to.
All right, man.
Y'all take care.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye-bye.
And as we continue, Charlie Stabile, New Blood Rising podcast. Awesome.
I wish we had a little more time with them, but hey, we all have real lives out there. So
that's right. You got to pay the bills.
That's right. Because podcasting just doesn't do it, folks.
No. Maybe someday, man. That's the dream.
That's the dream. Yeah.
Do a fucking episode every day.
Yep. We could pull a Vince Russo and do 30 podcasts a month.
Every day, all you motherfuckers got to do is pay. Patreon.com/Suplex City Limits.
That's right. Yeah,
Give us $1. Give us $1, man. You got $1, man?
Yeah. I told you not to get that Suplex City Limits no $3.50.
Yeah. One time, outside of a concert, this bum comes up and he asks for change, and someone's like, "No, man, I don't have any change." And it gets to the point where he's like, "This is as best I can represent what he said is, you got a penny, man." Just angry, like, "You got a penny?" Like, you're literally asking for a penny. Right now. I reached in my pocket and gave him a portion of the change that I had.
A portion? Just a portion?
You have a third of the change in my pocket, dude.
Here's all my nickels. Now get out of here.
I don't know. We were waiting. I said that was when we saw Down on the Down 2 tour.
Oh, okay.
Outside of the Quest in Minneapolis. So I went to a concert this week.
Yes, you did. How was it? I heard it was pretty fucking awesome. I should have fucking went. God,
you really should have went. Yeah, it was really badass. So we saw Beartooth, which not a lot of people there knew, but I know their shit. They're pretty good. They opened. They played a half hour. It's pretty good.
Right.
Suicidal Tendencies, which fucking... Dude, we grew up... I don't know. I grew up hard on that shit.
I grew up on that stuff, too. They weren't one of my favorites, but they had a few tracks on my playlist on my mixtapes.
They opened with "You Can't Bring Me Down, Bring Me Down." It was, for guys who were 50,
right?
They put on a fuck of a show, man. Mike was great, man. He's dancing and running. I was like, they fucking ripped it up. And then Slipknot, who I'm a fan, but not a huge fan, but way more of a fan after this, man.
Oh man, Corey can. I like diverse singers, and you know that. That's why I'm a huge Michael Patton fan, and I think Corey is probably. I think he's one of the more diverse singers, screamers that are out there right now.
Yeah, I think that too. I mean, a lot of people don't give props to that guy. Like, I have to give him props. I think he's the best singer probably out there. My top 3, I don't know. He is, because he could go and sing for a death metal band.
Yep.
Or he could, he can do shit like Stone Sour. Mm-hmm. The guy's, he can sing like a motherfucker. He can scream. He can do everything. So, and he was on. I know I've watched a lot of their footage of their shows, and sometimes you'll get the very out of gas Corey Taylor.
Right.
Where he's out of gas. And he really, I noticed that he was he stayed pretty much in the middle. He'd walk around and shit, but he wasn't running and jumping.
He wasn't running, doing all the crazy shit that those guys usually.
And that's a really good fucking thing for him. There's plenty of shit happening. You don't need to run around.
Right.
So, They were awesome, man. They played like fucking 18 songs and fucking ripped it up. I don't know if you saw the video I posted.
One of the cats that I work with, he'll catch just about any show that comes to town, and he had videos, and I was just like, it's the first 5 seconds I seen into, what is it, Wait and Bleed, I think, was a song that he had recorded on his phone, and I was like, 5 seconds into that, and I'm just like kicking myself in the ass. Fuck, should have went. Should have.
Dude, they're the really big stage setup with ramps and stairs and flames which come out the sides and big flame pots on the top.
Right? Yep. Yeah,
that's what I saw. Shit happened. Big ass like demon head hanging on the fucking.
Well, it's kind of what I went and saw Avenged before I moved out to a town that we're not going to talk about anymore. But I went and saw Avenged when they were here right before I moved, and I thought their stage setup was pretty good. This was like 10 times that, from the looks of it.
Yeah, it was more entertaining, than just seeing like some dudes play. It's certainly like the whole thing had a really cool vibe to it, and I really enjoyed the show, man. And I was impressed, man. Props to Bismarck, North Dakota.
Oh yeah, that was another thing that they told me.
That motherfucker had to be close to sold out.
They packed it, and Corey, I heard, was on the mic saying, I didn't realize you guys were going to be this fucking crazy. We are coming back. So maybe I'll get another chance to see them. So
I hope so. And like I said, with the amount of people that were standing around up top, because it was general admission floor and general admission seats.
Okay.
And, the chick and I did it so perfect. Showed up early enough to get a parking spot right outside the door.
Okay.
I watched a huge line that was like fucking 2 blocks long. File in, and right as the line was closing up, got out of the car, went in, still got an amazing seat.
Yeah, it looked like you guys were in pretty good seats from all your pictures and stuff.
I don't know if you know how they do shit on the angles on the far end of the stage. There's like, they're kind of folding chairs. They're on like a little part that jets out.
Yep.
That's where we were, and that was a great spot, man. But the amount of people there was people standing all the way around the top, so the seats were full almost to the top. I mean, it had to be a sellout, man. The floor was fucking packed. And I know that place can hold, like, depending on layouts, like 10,000 people, so.
It's 8,000 for basketball games, I think, if they open the upper tier.
Yeah, I looked at it and it says like 10,100. I don't know what event would be able to do that, but
right.
This was probably, probably 6,000 people, I suppose.
I would say that's a safe bet. Yeah, 6,000 to 7,000. So
yeah, really good show, man. And they're playing. I know they played Winnipeg the next night. So if you get a chance to check out Slipknot on this tour, definitely, because they played songs. They played like 6, 7 songs off the first album.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they played some songs that according to them, they've never played live. They're like, we've never played this song live ever. So they're whipping out some random, kind of older songs and songs you wouldn't expect them to play. They were whipping out.
Yeah, when they first dropped their first album, that was all that was in my CD player for a long time.
Yeah, that album really. I was trying to discuss that with somebody. Is if those guys were just dudes in t-shirts and jeans playing those songs, would that have been near as popular? I don't think it would be.
I don't think it would have been either.
That was a big part of the whole thing. Was
with their masks, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Well.
I don't know. But yeah, very good show. If you have a chance, they come to your city. Check that out. Even if you don't like it, that was the thing I was thinking too with that show. That's one of those shows where you wouldn't even really have to like them to have had a fun time with all of the crazy shit happening and, crazy lights and flames and fucking,
And all their percussionists on man lifts and shit like that, raising them up and bringing them down and shit like that, yeah.
Yeah, we went because it was my chick's favorite band, and she's like, beforehand, the whole stage is pretty much covered. She's like, it's so small, and she was thinking it was going to be like a lesser show, as far as stage and shit. And I wasn't sure. And like, yeah, they brought the whole fucking shebang, man.
Yeah. Well, they still have all 9 guys, don't they?
Well, they have 9. Yeah, they're different 9 guys.
Right. Joey's not with the band. That's the drummer for Joey Jorgensen. For people who don't follow him.
Here's a rare piece of trivia. Do you know who actually plays drums for them now?
Who?
Jabe Weinberg, son of Max Weinberg.
Oh, no shit, huh?
Yeah, he's on the new album. He's been working for them for a year.
Oh, right on. Is it still the original Clown, or because I know him and Corey didn't get along a lot.
I think it is, yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Most of them are, that one guitar player is slightly newer. And
well, yeah, the one passed away, yeah.
No, the bass player passed away.
Was it the bass player? Okay.
At least they let their bass player stand on stage now. For a while, they didn't even have a bass player on stage. And I was like,
Really?
that's fucking stupid. So now he at least is allowed to stand on the stage.
Well, that's good.
It's like, fuck, man. I know your bass player died and he was your friend, but Jesus. If you're going to keep playing it, you got to have somebody on the fucking stage. That's just dumb. Don't be ridiculous.
Redonkulous.
But yeah, good show.
Wrestling.
Talk about different shit on here. You know.
There was some wrestling this week. So
There was, dude.
like I said, I didn't make it into Raw, very far into Raw.
I don't blame you.
I did watch NXT. I was pretty satisfied with how that whole thing turned out.
Yeah, we can get into that. Some news. Road Warrior Animal denied a performance center coaching job.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He talked about wanting to perform or to coach there, but WWE denied his services. I imagine it's because they want to teach people how to sell. So.
It kind of reminds me of way back in the, not to get off base here, but this will be a quick story. Back when the Raiders were trying to bring Jamarcus Russell in, Rich Gannon actually offered his services, and Al Davis told him to go fly a kite. I'm like, why would you do that? You got one of the smartest guys you've ever had played quarterback for your franchise. And you got this guy who obviously is having troubles concentrating, learning the playbook, that sort of stuff. Why wouldn't you want to bring somebody in like that to help him out?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
On one hand, I think, okay, that he really didn't, what does he really bring? He's not much of a talker. He never really, I'm like, I see it. But then you think, like, well, Bill DeMott fucking ran shit down there, and Norman Smiley's down there and shit. I mean, so it's like,
I like Norman Smiley, though. I liked him.
He was a really good worker. WCW, his shit was zany as fuck.
Well, right. And it worked for him, though. It worked for him.
He was always zany in WCW, man. I don't know. He'd do the wiggle, right? Was that his thing? Right?
Yeah, that was the wiggle. Yep.
Was he Mr. Wiggle or something at one point, too, or no?
Yeah, that's what they tried to brand him at, yeah.
Oh, man, really fucking weird.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, really Animal, I don't know. He's not much. He did a couple of moves, really. I mean, I don't think he brings all that much, but I just thought it was interesting. I think because he also never sold once in his entire career. Like, we're trying to teach these people how to sell, goddammit. We can't have this shit.
Nope.
There's backstage talk about SmackDown going live on the USA Network when it moves.
Yeah. Well, it's coming up pretty quick here. It's January, is it, when it moves to USA?
Right.
Okay.
So I don't know, man. I don't think it matters. It'll be one of those things where they get behind it for a week or two, and then, for a week it kind of matters, and then that'll be about it. So.
I also heard them, they're kicking around ideas to have them as separate brands now, again. How it used to be with the draft and all that shit. So,
right.
So I got there's been talk of that from what I've been reading too.
They would need way more people on the roster to do that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, well, you'd think they'd need a little bit more talent, so...
Yeah, I don't know. If they want to go like separate writing teams and that's where SmackDown was way better than Raw for a while there, and
right,
Paul Heyman was there and shit.
Right.
So if you can get away from the usual bullshit and do something else, but don't see it happening.
No, and to touch on the talent, not to take one of your stories away, but I think we do need to talk about this. WWE looking for more talent. It looks like that they're interested in signing Ricochet, which would be terrible for his career.
And Angelico.
And Angelico?
Yeah, they were out at King of Trios this year scouting, and they really liked Angelico.
Mm-hmm. Well, I really like Angelico right where he's fucking at. Leave him alone.
Stop trying to take our people away from us.
Yeah, stop trying to ruin the best wrestling on television.
Yeah, I'm not sure as far as... the rumor is that he has a 7-year deal with Lucha. Ricochet and Angelico, I both... So...
Well, here's the thing, though, you're talking about a guy who's got, basically unlimited resources to bring guys in. It wouldn't be that hard for Vince to buy out contracts, so... Yeah,
it's not much of a sign of anything, but I I did on Twitter this week. I said, I fault no one for making paper when they can, but just look what they do with Kalisto and Neville.
Right.
To him, and he liked it, so I don't know what that means, but
that means hopefully he's gonna stick around on Lucha. So.
And that's the thing is like, yeah, you're gonna have to make some money there, but that will cost, man. Like he can still be a guy who goes down as like a legend of working in Japan because Japan really likes him. They want to get him over there more, So
right, yeah.
This is I don't know. It's a really hard thing. I'm sure he's doing okay. You would expect, but he lives already in Florida because he's roommates with, like as I mentioned before, he's roommates with Uha Nation.
Okay.
So they think it would be a good fit, but what are they going to do with him? At least, he's a handsome kid. He's got some charisma. They might be able to do something with him, but their track record with high flyers is mediocre at best.
Yeah, at the very best, yeah.
Because I think that's a fair point. Look at Kalisto and, look at Neville. They don't use those guys at all, man. Mm-hmm. Neville, last week lost a match in 30 seconds.
Yep.
This week loses with Cesaro to two guys who nobody gives a shit about.
Yeah, it's the booking. The booking is mind-boggling. So
it is, man. It's just brutal. TNA talents are reaching out everywhere trying to get jobs. So I guess everybody's trying to get a hold of like WWE, Lucha Underground, New Japan, AAA. So it'll be interesting to see a lot of these guys show up other places.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know who WWE is going to. They pretty much have the pick of the bunch.
Yeah, they got the pick of the litter. So, and for TNA, let's. I wish we had a sound bite for the fucking Xavier Woods trumpet. Little taps.
Yeah, I'm looking at their roster currently, and dude, really, I don't see anybody who would be really worth that much of shit. This Tigre Uno guy, I don't know, maybe.
Bring Hernandez back to Lucha. Oh, I'm
no,
kidding. I'm totally kidding, by the way. They'll do just fine without him.
But yeah, they don't really have anybody. Like, they have this guy here. Look at this, man. Crazy Steve. He's got a clown face. What is that, dude? DJZ. He's got yellow glasses and a scarf on.
Is that one of Billy Corgan's fucking?
I don't know, dude. But yeah, Kenny King. Well, Kenny King's back to Ring of Honor. Their roster's not even up to date on Impact. I'm on ImpactWrestling.com, and it lists a bunch of people they don't have anymore. So I don't know. That's funny. Get an ESPN update or what?
Yeah, NDSU's kicking the shit out of South Dakota State right now. So
nice.
21-14 at halftime. Let's turn that down.
Yeah. I may take a look at this Tigre Uno guy. I think I've seen some of his shit. He's pretty good. Any guy with a mask and high flying, I'm like, yup.
Shut up and take my money.
Exactly. Take my fucking money. Sticking with Lucha Underground, they're seeking more female wrestlers in Season 2. Eric Van Wagenen was on some different shows talking about it, so I don't know. For me, being an hour-long show, I don't know that they even should have women wrestling. I'd probably just skip it. Because the show's only an hour.
Right.
So, I don't know. But yeah, they say, we're looking for more females. We have Sexy Star and Ivelisse. It's no secret we're hoping to work out, to get more people. So, we'll see. I guess not everybody's coming back for this season, but they do have some new characters coming out, so that's pretty exciting. We'll see what we can get out of Diz Joseph when he's on here in 2 weeks.
That'll be fun. Yeah, that'll be a good one. I got some questions for him.
Well, we'll see if we'll see what he gives us. He's not really giving out a lot right now, but
okay. Well,
but they haven't. They start filming like a week after he'll be on here, so nothing's been done yet, I guess. So He's definitely not really giving any. I don't want any spoilers, but we'll be able to ask him. Yeah, I'm curious to see if Vampiro's going to be back on commentary. So we'll see maybe if he has something to say about that. See what we can get out of him. Should be really awesome.
Yeah, it should be a good time.
There's talk that Del Rio is not, El Patron, is not going to be returning to Lucha Underground.
I read that too. And he's talking with WWE right now.
Right.
To come back.
I guess he is under some kind of a contract with Lucha. But typically speaking, if they want to get out of those kind of deals, they can. Right. I don't know. I don't think I'd be surprised if he went back, man. From what he says, he hated his time there.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything good to say about any of his time there.
No. As someone says racist shit to him, he slaps them and he gets fired.
Right. Yeah.
So, gonna be another WWE show. Sounds like that NXT Kids shit's actually going through. I can't believe that. The show's already for children, so making a show called NXT Kids is really redundant at this point.
Right.
Did you ever see the what leaked online a couple months back about that?
No, I can't say I have. No.
Yeah. The concept, it's basically kids ages 7 to 14 as the talent outside the ring. So it's called by kids. The interviews are done by kids. And it's like really kid-centric. It's like Bailey matches and shit like that. And it's like, isn't it already for kids? I think that's such a stretch.
I think that's safe to say that it's already for kids, yeah.
And what kids are going to like that? It's way too... It's not even cool. Like, what's cool about that? It's a completely PG... it's like G-rated. It's beyond PG.
Yeah.
But you want to hear kids call a wrestling match?
No thanks.
Walk out of here. I would rather fucking just off myself. This is funny. Jeff Hardy this week. He said a lot of dumb fucking shit in his days. His quote, he doesn't understand why TNA isn't successful. He said, quote, I just don't understand it. I never will, because I've watched so many TNA shows that are great. Drew Galloway is awesome. I love watching him wrestle, cut promos. EC3 is right there as a top dog. Yeah, it's frustrating to wonder why and understand why it has not taken off like it rightfully should have. Fucking get out of here, man. That's so delusional. Like, this should be more popular because I do it. I say so. I don't know.
It just tells you he's been hit in the head with a chair too many times throughout his career.
It is surprising that it's not more popular than it is, really. Because it's not... we talk shit, and it is bad, but it's not, like, that bad. It's not... I would say it's on, like, equal footing with WWE, really.
Right now, yeah. Absolutely. Right now.
It might even be more interesting, because, like, I don't know who some of those dudes are. So it's like, it's like, I'm like, who's this guy? So that's something. It's not like, oh, Sheamus and Barrett. All right, here we go. It's a little different at least. And then we were saying, too, that diversity, how small their roster is, they do have other guys they just refuse to use.
Yep.
Like, why have we still not seen Sandow on Raw or anything?
Oh, they could save him. They could save him so easily. No Sandow, no Curtis Axel, no frickin'
Heath Slater.
Well, not that we're missing a whole lot there, but
no, but I'm just saying anybody different. That's the
thing. Right, yeah,
like
just
somebody different, man. Like something you didn't see last week.
Bring the dude bros up.
The dude bros.
The dude bros.
Oh God, they're terrible.
Yes. I was a little disappointed that what's the other dude bro? Not Zack Ryder, but what's the other guy?
Mojo Rawley.
Mojo Rawley. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed he didn't last as long as didn't last longer than what he did in that Battle Royal.
Oh God, it's terrible. Sports Center is going to start profiling WWE programming every week.
Man, that just tells you they're scraping the bottom of the barrel. They're trying to get people to come watch, from anywhere.
What's happened with, that too, but what's happened with ESPN? I know they, laid off a ton of people and, they're in financial hardships right now.
ESPN is? Really?
Yeah. They fired a ton of people, and they've had to scale back. I don't know. Like, I guess the amount of money you make on a TV station nowadays isn't what it was from advertising. So, yeah, they had to cut way back. And I think WWE's paying them, and sure, that's the deal.
I was going to say, I want to see what this check that WWE
it's absolutely.
So.
And how do you cover it on there? I mean, it doesn't... You know, they've always had that, and it just doesn't fit. The only time it makes any sense is if, like, a sports star is going to go do it. You know, then okay. But after hockey scores, you're going to have, like, what happens in wrestling?
No, are you kidding? Hockey? No, they'll follow the WNBA.
The WNBA.
they're gonna do all the WNBA highlights, and then they'll get the WWE.
Well, the season of that just ended, and the Minnesota Lynx are champions for the third time in a row.
Yeah, okay, so they got
There's
that.
Their WNBA news for the week.
Yep. There you go. And this just in: Lamar Odom is awake and conscious.
Is he?
Yeah. Yep.
He probably wishes he was still asleep.
We got a message for Lamar Odom. This is in from Charlie Sheen. He says, "Get on my fucking level, bud."
Yeah, dude. You can't go to a brothel and fucking drink and do cocaine and Viagra without passing out. Come on now.
Come on now. It's amateur hour.
Holy fuck! And then yesterday I saw on the news. I mean, he must have. When did he wake up? Because I saw yesterday he wasn't.
Yeah, no, it was yesterday afternoon when I got the ESPN update, you know.
Oh, because they were saying that his wife was would have had, like, counsel. You know, like, she could have decided to pull the plug on him and shit. Like,
right.
Holy fuck, dude.
No, he's stabilized.
If I'm separated from my wife, that means that she no longer has power of attorney, man. Come on,
yeah,
man.
Yeah,
Holy
right?
shit.
So.
Like, unplug that.
Unplug that shit.
Holy shit. Almost. Not quite. You're gonna get me.
Nice try. Yeah, nice try there, huh? But no, I can totally see where you're coming from, man. Like how is she? How does she have anything, you know, to say about anything in his life? I don't. It baffles me. I don't know.
But yeah, man, that's the shits either way. I mean, like, when I saw news on the news, you know, that you were found unconscious at a brothel, it's like, oh, fuck.
We're gonna have to do some PSAs to clean this one up.
Yeah, well, and he hasn't really been that good in basketball anyway. So
he was just too big of a body, man. You know, them big guys like that, like Yao Ming and Lamar Odom, those guys, like, their knees give out. You know, there's too much impact on your legs in that sort of sport for big guys like that. Yeah. I'm really surprised Shaquille O'Neal didn't have more knee problems than what he did.
Considering how fat he was, too.
Right, yeah, you know.
But yeah, come on, Lamar, man. You never heard of Len, you never fucking heard of Len Bias? Get the fuck out of here.
Well, they're saying that it was a herbal Viagra supplement that slipped him into a coma? Or it had something to do with it? Or
herbal Viagra, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, an herbal supplement, you know, used in place of
that.
Viagra.
Doesn't. I mean, that might be the most damning part of the whole story.
Right.
It's like, I can't get boners. That might be the most embarrassing part. Like, forget, you know, that I did coke and I'm in a brothel. Like, the fact that I can't get a bone. Oh man,
that's too bad. Yeah. So, I don't know. What are you gonna do with all that? You know how I feel about shit like that. I mean, we touched on it with our little Whitney Houston jab last week. You know, if you got everything at your disposal, you know, you got anybody to help you. You know, you probably can go through treatment for free. But it's still tragedy when something like this happens. I'm sorry. I have a really hard time feeling sorry for people like this.
Yeah, you know, the rest of us get up and go to fucking work every day and shit.
Right.
Got shit to actually worry about.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, these people, like, yeah, okay, so living in the public eye, yeah, okay, that can be stressful, but there are people out there that will help you, and they'll help you just for the sake of helping a famous person. They're probably not going to charge you anything. Not that money's a fucking problem with these people or anything like this. He seems to be more of the smarter. He married a Kardashian, I guess. You know. Yeah. Yeah. That's another thing I wanted to touch on. You marry a Kardashian, how well do you honestly think it's going to end?
Yeah. Those chicks are all have been all divorced from basketball players at this point, haven't they?
Yes, all of them, including Caitlyn Jenner.
Really?
No.
No, I'm just joking.
What's the young one's name that's in the fucking news all the time now? What's the? Is it Kylie? Kylie Jenner? Is it Kylie? Yeah. Well, she's getting married and she's not even fucking 18 years old yet.
She's not even 18? She's
I
getting
don't
married?
think so. Yeah, she's getting married to some 24-year-old fucking rapper or some shit. So.
Black guy, yeah?
Yeah. No. It seems like those Kardashians like to go that way.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, man.
Not that, it's not that we're saying anything bad about that.
Well, no, but it's predictable at this point.
It's absolutely predictable, so.
Oh, my God. That's my main beef with those chicks is they're just fucking no talents. And all of them.
Yeah.
You know?
You're famous because your dad helped a murderer go free.
Yeah.
That's the only namesake you have.
The only time that Kim Kardashian has a creative bone in her body is when Kanye West is fucking her in the ass.
You're gonna go as far as saying that Kanye West has a creative bone.
His first album was good. First two albums were good.
Yeah, I thought I liked the first two albums too, man. But then he got the fucking ego.
He's a piece of shit. That guy.
So, sorry, Kanye, you are not Jesus.
He's the most creative of all the dudes that they've married. So.
I'm a lyrical genius. Does that mean I'm a gay fish?
That's right, man.
It's a play on words.
Play on words. I mean, we pretty much shit on Raw. Ratings all-time low again.
Right.
So.
All-time low, which means it was lower than last week.
Mm-hmm. Although I'd say this is probably a better show than last week.
Like I said, I couldn't put myself through it this week. I'd rather have watched, what was the Monday night game? Was it the Lions game? I'd rather watch the Lions play football than.
God, they're terrible.
No, they're awful. Sorry, Casey, I know you're listening, but yeah, they are bad.
Is he a fan or what?
He's a big Lions fan.
Well, we have a little bit of redemption for him at the end, so.
We
probably
did.
already figured that out by the song.
Yeah, he probably did. Yeah.
But yeah, Rollins lost again. So.
How did that end? Was it a distraction roll-up or just...
Dude. I mean, Kane just won. Beat him clean.
Okay.
Tombstone pile driver, dude.
So you're going to have your champion lose clean to
he loses
17 out of 6
every week, man. Yeah.
So fucking 16 out of 17 times you're going to have him fucking lose clean all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're destroying that guy too, man.
Shitty women's matches. Sasha was there and out, but she wasn't in a match.
They were chanting for her this week, weren't they?
Oh, yeah.
We want Sasha? Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, I made it that far. I guess if that's a little further than when the New Day came out. I made it that far.
Yeah, so. You didn't miss anything.
I didn't think I did.
You missed a really terrible show.
Aw.
Yeah, terrible. NXT, dude, 19 minutes until the first match.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Because Bailey came out, right? They had the Bailey promo.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning.
That's just terrible. I mean, that chick can wrestle, but holy fuck.
She can't talk.
Her character's terrible and for 5-year-olds. And she can't talk, dude.
No, she sounded like she was she sounded super nervous.
Yeah, she's
on the mic.
Not good, dude. She can work, I'll give her that.
There's no passion behind her voice when she talks, when she cuts a promo. There's no passion behind it. So.
And the way that they've done this shit is ridiculous. So Samoa Joe challenges Balor, just challenges him.
Right.
Why not have him lose?
As a respectful, it was a respectful challenge, like, hey man, I came here for one reason only. We had a great run with this tag team tournament, but I only came here for one thing, And
that's nonsense, though.
Yep.
If they had it where, at least they would have lost the final match to, like, Jordan and Gable. And then there would have been a reason for them to have issue. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why wouldn't you do it that way? That just makes sense. That makes the Joe Balor feud more interesting. It puts the right team over. I don't know. Yeah. I just thought that was a missed opportunity.
I thought so too, but I was pretty happy with how I was kind of excited about how that battle royal turned out. Actually,
yes. You had Vaudevillains versus Dawkins and Fulton, which squash match. What's the point of it?
Pretty much, yeah.
What is the point? But they are setting up. I guess they're calling the other guys the Mechanics. The team that we enjoy.
Dawson and Wilder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess they're the Mechanics, which whatever.
Kind of seems like something they thought of at the last minute.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so I guess they face Enzo and Cass next week for.
That should be alright. I like those two. I like Enzo and Cass. Those guys are cool.
It's entertaining at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
you can't teach that.
Yeah. The backstage thing with Dana Brooke and Asuka, that made me fucking cringe.
Oh my god, was that ever terrible?
Dude.
Oh, man.
What were they thinking of that?
Oh, that made me want to slam my head against the wall until it was over.
Yeah, very fucking terrible. Just fucking gross.
Yeah.
The debut of Nia Jax, not what I expected. I didn't look up who she was or anything. I wanted it to be, I tried to keep it like a pure reaction, so I didn't look it up. And I thought she was going to be like a China type of chick.
Right.
By her voice and how they didn't really show much of her. I figured she'd be like this giant buff chick. Man, I applaud them for finally having a woman wrestler who has a body type that like real women can identify with.
Right.
You know?
But her get up.
Well, dude.
Okay. Her get up
was fucking brutal.
That get up was awful, and like how it was like light colored in the middle, and it kind of gave off that hourglass shape. It's like they're trying to make her look. They're trying to make her body type look different than what it is. With that get up, they're trying to make her so like if you just glance at the television, you see like the hourglass figure, but obviously it's not on she doesn't obviously have an hourglass figure. She doesn't, but her get up is trying to they're trying to make her not look like what she looks like.
Well, watched that with my lady, and she was like, not good.
No.
And did you notice too when she walked down to the ring, the camera was like right below tits up.
Yep.
I thought like her whole way to the ring, you didn't see, you just saw from boobs up, and then when she got in the ring, obviously you can't. You know. And why try to do that, man? Like, you can have a big chick, and I think it's something that they've missed for a long time. Like, this chick should go through and just fucking squash people.
Right. How'd you think of her working? What did you think of that?
There wasn't a lot on display there, man.
No, there really wasn't.
I mean, there wasn't anything that was, like, too abysmal. Right. But it was really slow and really, like... I mean, she only did a couple of moves, and, we'll see how good of a worker. I mean, I don't see her going and doing, a 15-minute fucking...
Oh, absolutely
action-packed
not. No.
match. I mean, I don't know. But, like I said, I did enjoy that. Yeah, finally there's, like, a woman who's a real woman,
Right. I know a lot of people that were pretty happy with that, so...
And as a dude who, like, I like women who have some meat on them. I don't like the, little, like, anorexic-looking girls. So, I thought it was pretty interesting, man. We'll see where that goes. It's about time.
She was very manly in the face, though. I'm going to point that out. It looked like... That's what I said, because me and Steve were watching it, and I'm just like, man, she looks like a dude in drag. That's what I thought right away, but... I don't know.
I don't know, man. I didn't think she was that manly. My chick didn't think she was manly.
No? Okay, well, maybe she's got a very pronounced jawline.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see where that goes. Having her squash some little skinny bitch was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. She face, is she heel? She's always, just like everyone, she's always smiling.
Yeah.
They all always smile. Like, remember to smile.
Put a little Vaseline on your gums. It'll help you smile.
Like after that NXT TakeOver event, you could even see the ref outside telling Asuka to smile, giving her like the, putting his fingers up. And they do that shit to these guys. Oh, remember to smile. Like, dude, not everybody smiles, man. Why? I don't know. We'll see if she's a face or a heel. I don't know. Probably a face. I could see it getting over, man. With women who watch wrestling, they probably will dig her because.
Yeah, they can. Yeah,
like I said, she's a normal-looking chick. You know, she's what you see. You don't see, chicks built like fucking Nikki Bella walking down the street.
Right. Yeah.
That shit's ridiculous anyway. 35-year-old chick with a fucking backward baseball cap. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
And this chick is related to the whole Samoan connection, isn't she?
I would have to say so. Yeah.
I think she is. She's related to Rock and all those. I think.
I would have to say so. Yeah. So it's not definitely. Yeah, she definitely didn't. Because obviously they're looking for one body type, and if you haven't figured that out yet, then hey, climb out underneath that rock that you're living under. So.
And I was wondering too if that was part of it. Was the delay of her showing up like them trying to fucking get her to slim down or something?
I don't know, or maybe get a little bit bigger. I don't know. I'm not trying to be funny or anything or shit on anybody, but were they maybe trying to have her put on a little bit more weight, or was it vice versa, have her slim down a little bit?
I probably trying to have her slim down, I imagine. But yeah, she's is a plus size model. So she has done plus size modeling and shit like that.
Okay, all right.
She is a member of the Anoa'i family, so. She's a cousin of The Rock, so that puts her in with all of the rest of those people. So I don't know. I thought it was okay.
But then what did we have after that? Was that the battle? Was it Battle Royal time after that?
It was, yeah.
Okay.
That's where I tweeted Baron Corbin. He got mad.
Oh, it's okay. You hurt Baron Corbin's feelings. It's okay.
I love it too, that guy. He's so confused. He thinks that he's doing a good job as a heel, Like, these people are booing him. That's good. And that's why I said, I tweeted shit against him on Twitter because I don't like him because he's a good heel, And what a fucking confused son of a bitch. Everyone boos that guy because he sucks.
Yeah, it's not heel heat you're getting there, bud.
No. He can't work. He can't talk. He's balding. He's soft in the middle. He really has nothing. Like, he has exactly zero of the qualities that I would look for in a professional wrestler. He is the shits. So yeah, I mean, the Battle Royal, what do you think? You enjoyed it? I like a Battle Royal, period. So.
Yeah. I liked it. I was really pleased with the outcome of it, too. I thought for a little bit there, like you said, I thought, oh man, are they gonna push him? Yeah,
I was really afraid Corbin was gonna win.
I was like, are they gonna push him? And then it turns out to be to Cruz wins, and I was like, fuck yeah, awesome.
I like that they also put in a little bit of a match before one threw the other one out.
Right? Yeah.
They didn't just go right into eliminate the last elimination. They kind of had a little bit of a match in there, so.
Right.
Pretty good. Yeah, and that's the right decision. Cruz is the way to go.
He is the future of that company, and he'll be the future of WWE.
I'd agree.
That guy's got gold written all over him.
To me, he's a world champion. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And we're not talking world champion down the road. I want to see him holding some gold within the next year and a half here, man.
Yeah, I hope that when he goes to the main card, that they can actually utilize him.
Right.
He can talk, and that's good, man. He can talk. He's awesome in the ring.
He's charismatic as all fuck too, man.
Yeah, he's got a good look. Everything about the guy is a win. Except for his name.
Let's take who was the cat? Was it Gable? They tried to do the whole Shawn Michaels almost hitting the floor. Was it Gable that he totally touched the floor with both feet?
Did he?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I watched it again in slow motion. He totally touched the floor with both feet.
So. I don't doubt it, man. So yeah, man, NXT not bad. Don't take 19 minutes to fucking get to a match. That's bullshit.
Especially when it's only an hour show.
Yeah, dude. Come on.
You're taking up a quarter of your show for bullshit.
Yeah, not good.
I don't know. We did get to see Alexa Bliss in the whole deal, so I guess it wasn't a complete waste.
Yeah, but yeah, the potential. I mean, the match, the impending Cruz and Balor match, could be really fucking good.
Yep. And just like, yeah, man, not completely sold on. I like his in ring, but Balor, he's not very charismatic in his personality. It's just he's not.
Not a lot there, man.
Yeah, there really isn't a lot there. So
and the way that they're not really accenting what they should. He shouldn't do these promos like these face promos like they have him do, and he shouldn't really talk that much. He should be a different sort of character,
Right. Instead of he comes out. Is that why they dress him up in makeup and shit when he comes out for his big matches? Because he's got to have,
He's
some
always
sort of
done
charisma.
that.
He has always done that before. Okay.
Yeah, he did that before.
Okay.
I mean, he hasn't always done it, but he did do it before he came to WWE.
Okay.
I always thought that you said it should have been like a Bruce Wayne and Batman sort of thing.
Yeah.
He could have been how he is, with his personality, just really laid back, doesn't really talk much, always like fucking wearing a suit and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he, I think every time, I thought that was an oversight. I know to paint his whole body takes way too long, and you can't really put him in a bodysuit because he's got a ridiculous body. So you might as well, you got to show that, I suppose.
Right.
But he should have been that every match,
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it's sometimes and sometimes not, that would have really drove the difference between the guy and and then the
character.
Yeah.
Yep, the guy and the character. And I got one more thing to say on Balor, and then I think I'm done with him, is fucking lose your new t-shirt, buddy. Fucking just get rid of that. Get
the Balor Club one?
Yeah, fucking throw that fucking thing away, man. That's an insult, I think.
It's the shits.
Yeah.
Yeah, that last one was better. Had kind of his paint on it.
Yeah, I like that one better, but you're blatantly ripping off the fucking Bullet Club from Ring of Honor.
Yeah, well...
and how childish is that? Fucking...
Well, the Bullet Club's already ripping off the NWO, so...
Well, I know, but they're doing something a little different with it.
Yeah.
Then they don't have half the fucking roster on the Bullet Club, so...
Yeah, I really don't know how to feel about the Bullet Club. It's just a bunch of dudes. Like, at least the NWO was a bunch of guys who drew. The Bullet Club's no one's really drawn that much money in there,
Right. Well, no,
I
agree, but I mean, it's being done. So why,
It is weird.
You can't think of your own idea for a
it's
t-shirt?
not like he comes up with it. Fuck.
Well, yeah, I know, but still, you should have at least some sort of say in it. But this is, we're talking about NXT and WWE where all logic is thrown out the window. So, yeah.
Pretty fucking much, dude. Ring of Honor, another good show from Ring of Honor. Match number 4 in the best of 5 series between Seidel and ACH. Really good match. Seidel wins to tie the series 2-2.
Right.
The shooting Seidel press for the win. Fucking awesome. I don't care how many times I see the shooting star press. That move fucking rocks. I dig it every time I see it, man. Well, unless it's Brock Lesnar, I don't dig that.
I kind of dug it. Anyway.
Well, in a weird way, it might have been the best shooting star press ever, right?
What a dumb fuck. Why is that big guy trying to do that shit? Well, he's pulled that move off 100 times before, but yeah. Anyway, I think we spent already enough time on that particular shooting star press. So
you had a promo battle with the Addiction and the All Night Express, which is a throwback tag team to a couple of years ago. That's where Cornette was talking about Kenny King.
Okay.
And I can't look at Kenny King the same way after Cornette just tore him apart. So, but King had kind of fucked him over. They're like, well, if you're going to leave, we're not going to put the belts on you. And, so they come up with an agreement. Okay, well, we'll have you sign a 90-day contract with us, and you can still do what you want, but at least we have you for that, And I guess they failed to get him to sign it at the event, and then he left shortly after. So they didn't technically lose the belts either, and that's kind of the angle. It's a decent angle, but Kenny King, I don't know, he's a piece of shit kind of, so... But whatever. So I guess it could be a tag match. I don't know about the Addiction. At this point, I don't think those guys are really having the matches that they had before.
Right.
It was a couple weeks ago they had one that was like, okay, that was a good match, but the Saban's old at this point now. Mm-hmm. He did a lot of really good shit in TNA. I had no idea. Someone sent me. There's a real famous match with him and AJ Styles, and I forget who else, but a triple threat match, just absurd. The guy was really good, but yeah, he's getting a little older, and I don't know.
Right.
He had Silas Young and the Beer City Bruiser. Fucking awesome. Came out with the boys.
Awesome.
And so yeah, Silas says it's the boys' first lesson into becoming men. And so then he had Silas Young and Beer City Bruiser just beat the shit out of them in the boys in a tag match. So fucking awesome. Beer City Bruiser, I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's just a fat balding guy. Fucking
awesome. Looks like an uncle, an out of work uncle or some shit. Yeah.
And I'm like fat guy, done, awesome.
Sold.
We don't have enough fat wrestlers anymore, so
there shall be no fast forwarding through this match.
No. And the main event for the world television title, Lethal defeated Watanabe. Awesome match. Watanabe is really fucking advancing. He's losing weight and shit, it looks like.
Is he really? Good.
I think he lost a little weight. Looking good, man. That was a really good match.
Good. I like him. He's
Lethal really continues to just put on the best fucking matches, man, in that company. You put him in like a Roderick Strong, and I mean, any of these guys, like they've put on. Ring of Honor on a weekly basis really does have a lot of the until Lucha comes back, the best matches of the week.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Really puts WWE's shit to shame. It really makes Raw look ridiculous when you're seeing some of these fucking main events on Ring of Honor. So, Ring of Honor continues to be good, and if people aren't watching that, you need to, because you can sign up for free on their website. Easy sign up, and then you can watch the episode every week.
Yep.
On Thursday, and that's how I watch the show. That's the way to go.
I've
if
done
you
that
don't
a
have
couple.
the channels.
Yep.
So.
Absolutely. That's how I've watched it the past couple of weeks, is via the interwebs.
Yeah. Legally.
Even though I do have cable, and I do have that on my TiVo, but I just sometimes I just want to watch it on my laptop.
Yeah, it's really nice, man. That's the thing, is I hate that people are always trying to withhold content, It's like, it's happening. Just put it out there, I hate some of these wrestling companies. Paragon Pro Wrestling, example. They have a show on the TV Guide channel at like 5 a.m. or something. And it's like, I'd love to watch this shit, but I don't have cable, and I wouldn't want to watch it on that channel anyway, really. Just put it on fucking YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Your show's not on YouTube, it's not available for me to watch, then fuck you. I'm not gonna go out of my way that far to watch it.
Right.
TV
Absolutely.
Guide channel, you have that, but it's like, are you
Who watches that anymore? Why do we even have a TV Guide channel anymore?
If I had cable, I would probably set my DVR and check it out, because Darren Corbin wrestles there, and he's the shit.
Yeah, he is.
And, they've, Joey Ryan, I guess, just became champ there. And that guy, he's done some shit in WCWC.
Okay.
I'm familiar with him. He's the guy, he's kind of got a Dalton Castle thing going on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He always comes out with a sucker, and he's
Yep.
and little shorties, and he's got a hairy chest and shit. He's that sort of character, and that shit's funny to me. I think that type of character is always going to be money with me.
Oh yeah.
Unless it's a shitty version of it like Tyler Breeze.
No, a terrible version of it like Tyler Breeze.
God, they got 5 years down there, dude. 5 years down there, and look at this again, just still getting the shaft.
Well, then Ambrose said something about it on that table for three.
What did he say about it?
Oh man, what the fuck was it? I can't remember what Ambrose said about him. Well, I think it was during one of their stories.
Oh, okay.
What the fuck did Breeze do?
But yeah,
I don't remember.
Talking about back when they were there, and he was there then too.
Yeah. Well, all three of them were down there at the same time, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where the Shield shit started, was in NXT.
Right. It was in NXT. Yep. Well, no, I'm talking Cesaro. No, I think Cesaro and Ambrose were up by the time Owens got there, but he didn't like everybody knows, he didn't stay down there very long. So.
Fuck no, he didn't.
He
didn't need to.
No, he didn't need to. I thought the best part about that when they were talking about the button-up shirts, and Ambrose is like, "Fuck, I ain't got no fucking button-up shirts. What the hell?"
Dude, he eats like a caveman.
He does, and it was awesome. And we were talking, And Steve brought it to my attention that he's doing a pre-show match on this next pay-per-view. Ambrose is.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
With Orton versus Braun Strowman
and Luke Harper.
Luke Harper.
Oh man. Well, maybe he should have got a button-up shirt. Maybe he would have been on the main card.
He
instead
just
of the fucking
stabs a
pre-show.
giant piece of food, and then holds it on the fork, and takes bites off of it.
While telling the story. Yep.
Yeah, dude. The guy, he's unkept, man. He eats like a
That-
goddamn caveman.
I liked the guy before, and I think I like him even more after watching that Table for Three.
I agree.
So-
He's kind of a dirtbag. It's awesome.
He is. He really is. Yeah. So.
Agreed.
So, but yeah, it was cool though. It was cool to see him in there. You know, it's cool to see him out of character and talking like normal human beings to each other. I think that's rad.
Right.
So, that's probably one of the better shows that the network's got going on for it right
It's
now.
not long
so.
enough.
I agree with you.
Yeah. It's
I
only
agree
like
with
20
you.
minutes.
So
It should be a little
So
longer than
they like rent out this entire restaurant for what, a couple of hours, I would suppose.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wonder. Yeah,
There could be more to it. Yeah.
I think there could be.
But I like the WCW one too, the Legends one. That was good.
Yeah, that was alright. I caught a couple episodes of that.
Sting's
What-
boring. But
Yeah, Sting is boring. But here's an idea for the Table of Three. Like, they should put it into segments. Like, you're getting your appetizers, and then you're getting your main course, and then you get your desserts. You have your 3 segments. I think, I don't know.
yeah,
Do it something like that.
it should be a little longer. But definitely.
I think it should be a little longer. Like, and when they're eating their hors d'oeuvres or their appetizers or whatever, they should be talking about how they got into the business, and then the main course, talk about their best times, and then dessert, talk about what's going on now. I don't know. That's how I would format it.
Sure.
That's just me. But
But it is one of the brighter points of the network.
I think it's the best show that the network's got.
Yeah.
Depending on who. Because if you look at, it's no secret that Steve and I share the WWE Network account, and if you look at it, it's like all of them are played except for the Divas one. There's like 5 minutes. They got the little status bar underneath them. It's like barely a notch on that one, but all the rest of them.
That one's not that bad, actually.
Isn't it? All right, maybe we'll watch that a little later, sometime next week. Or
Yeah,
something.
it's not that bad. But yeah, I mean, Legends House. Like I said, just finished watching it again. I loved it. That show's so good. Fucking hilarious.
I'll have to watch the whole season when
Makes
I get
you
some
like
time.
a guy
here.
like Jim Duggan. I never really, much for that guy. But fuck, is he great on that show? Like, you really, by the end of it, you really like him.
Oh, that's I had a feeling that guy was be a good personality outside of the ring.
Him and Piper together is just fucking hilarious, man.
Oh man, that sounds like gold to me.
And yeah, too, now that Piper's passed away, it's definitely interesting to watch. It's crazy that of all the guys on there, he was the first one, only one who's died since then.
Mm-hmm.
You still got Mean Gene kicking.
He's still own that chain of burgers, Mean Gene Burgers. Out west, I know it was out west.
Was it an actual thing?
Yeah. They it's kind of like a hot stuff pizza around here. You'll see it in gas stations and shit. And that's what they. Yeah.
I remember hearing about it. It's him on the thing too. Right?
Yeah. I think I may have picked one up in Minot. I think Minot's had a outfit that had the Mean Gene Burgers up there.
The Mean Gene Burgers.
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust any kind of a hamburger you buy at a gas station that you warm up in a microwave, but
Well, it's not as bad as sushi you get out of a gas station. So.
I mean, I've eaten some Pugsley's sandwich. Those are the ones that come to mind for me. Is Pugsley's. They still make those?
The half-pound hoagie.
I don't eat. Yeah, I don't eat. I don't eat sandwiches from gas stations these days. But back in the day, we sure as fuck did.
Oh yeah, there was a half-pound. Gotta go get a half-pound hoagie.
Yeah, half-pound hoagie. Throw that bitch in the microwave for like 15 seconds. Bam.
Hey, go get me a bear claw.
Half-pound hoagie. What else do they have? The trip. Where you'd get like 3 halves of a sandwich. Those are pretty good. The ham and Swiss.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Microwave that bitch too. Yeah. Not bad. There's your food conversation for the day.
Yeah,
we got to get off that because I'm fucking hungry as shit.
I am too. I'm starving. I came straight from work to do the cast here.
Yeah, we had to get in there quick, and because Charlie had to go. But
that's too bad. That's too bad we didn't have more time with him. But maybe down the road we'll have him on again. So.
Yeah, man. Maybe have one or two, maybe have two of those guys on or something.
Right? Yeah.
Definitely knows what he's talking about. So that's
yeah. He's yeah. Yep. Intelligent wrestling fan. So yeah.
You always have good luck with that. You want to do the Hall of Fame?
Oh yeah. I should almost call Casey right now and have him do it. He's probably gonna have to change the shorts after this one.
We made him wait long enough.
We did make him wait long enough, and that's what you asked me, and I was like, I haven't really decided yet. And then you asked me, was it Thursday night or was it last night?
Right. Yeah.
And you're asking, we got a Hall of Fame yet? And I was like, we better give Casey his dues. I know he's been waiting for this for a while. So, Casey, this one's for you, buddy. Member number, what do we got? What are we on here now? 24, 25?
I'll have to find out.
Well, how about let's just do this. Our latest addition to the Suplex City Limits Hall of Fame.
There you go.
Is none other than the excellence of execution, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Bret Hart, of course. I was going to say a different name, but
the 24th inductee.
24th, number 24, Bret Hart. Do we really need to talk about? I mean, the guy was a fantastic technical worker in the ring, probably if not one of the best. How many time world title?
Dude,
six, seven.
A bunch.
Okay.
Let's see. WWF champion 5 times.
WCW twice, right?
I don't know. 2-time Intercontinental, 1-time United States, tag team twice with Neidhart.
Yep.
Let's see.
He held the belt in WCW for a while too. I don't know if it was just once or twice though.
Did he? I don't recall that.
I think he did. It was brief, but he did have it. I'm sure.
He had it twice in he did. He had it twice in WCW.
Okay, all right.
And the 4-time United States heavyweight champion, tag team once with Goldberg. What? Okay.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's interesting that he didn't spend that long there to be 4-time U.S. champ, 2-time world champ.
Well, they just go back and forth between him and DDP for like 4 weeks or some shit.
Probably. That was the thing is obviously his WWE career, you don't even need to, get into it, obviously. I guess him coming to that match with him in Austin comes to mind.
Yep.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you one that stuck out in my head as a little kid was WrestleMania 9.
Oh, God. It's one of the worst WrestleManias ever.
I know, right? But he did. Yeah, he beat Yokozuna at that one, right? Is that the one I'm thinking of? The one at Caesar's Palace outside?
Yeah, so that he could immediately lose it to Hogan.
Yeah. Fuck. Right. Him and Michaels worked really well together when they got along.
Yeah, that Iron Man match.
Yep. He cared about wrestling. That was the thing. He cared about wrestling. He wanted to go out every night, put on the best show he possibly could. If we had more guys on any roster, on any given promotion, wrestling would be so much better if we had more guys like him to actually take the time to learn how to work with a guy, to figure out your limitations with a guy, to figure out the other guy's limitations, and to figure out how to have a good match with somebody. I don't think there was anybody better than him.
Yeah, he really put on the most realistic matches. His selling was great, and the matches made sense. I mean, the match, it always told a story. Yeah, there's definitely a lot to it, man. He definitely was really good in the ring. He also broke out of being he could have very easily ended up just languishing as a tag guy.
Right.
A lot of times when you're in a tag team, especially one that's like him and the Anvil, I mean, that's like classic shit.
Right.
To break out of that to get to world champion is pretty impressive.
Well, he was one of the best Intercontinental champs there for a while too, so that kind of helped springboard that. But man,
that was back when you got the Intercontinental, and that belt was for the workhorse, the good match of the night.
Right.
And you actually use that as a stepping stone towards the world belt, which nowadays it's not really the case, but
No.
For all of his high points in the ring, I think we'd be remiss if we didn't discuss how terrible he was on the microphone.
Right. There is some, there is some pretty bad spots with him. But I think, we talked about how he didn't get along with a lot of people. Mm-hmm. I think that was his passion for doing the right thing in the ring. I think that was a lot of it was his passion coming out. He wanted to do it right when everybody else wanted to do it the WWF way or the WWE way or the WCW way. Mm-hmm. I think he had really high standards when it came to his matches, and when he would see the way they wanted to book that shit, I think that's where a lot of him not getting along with other talent and shit. I think that's where a lot of it came from. I don't think it was just his personality. I think it was his passion for putting on the best product you possibly could every time he stepped into that ring. So
right, yeah, and then too, I wanted to talk about just how wasted he was in WCW.
Oh God, was he ever wasted in WCW?
I mean, that was just. I mean, I think there was a period of time where he probably had to take like a month off or something like that before he could appear over there. But they waited way longer than they had to.
Yeah.
And God, they just did not know what to do with him. And I know they think too that at that time he was kind of a broken person. After Owen died. And,
right. I was going to say
he really didn't come in with a ton of passion at WCW. It's really hard to work with.
Because it was right after, wasn't it? It was right after that is when he made his debut in WCW, not? Or am I?
Right after what?
Yeah, right after Owen. So.
I mean, after the screw job, yeah.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I mean, he definitely. And nowadays he's great. I don't know if it was because he's been hit in the head too many times or what, but he doesn't give a fuck anymore, man. He'll say whatever he wants.
Well, I think where that stems from is he's just tired of putting up with bullshit. He's an old man. I think he's earned the right to say whatever the fuck he wants to say. To be real honest with you, he really brought a lot of fans to it. He was a huge draw. A lot of people would just go just to see him. I had a pair of Bret Hart sunglasses when I was a kid.
I wanted them when I was a kid.
So
that's for sure. You're always so envious of the kid at ringside who got the glasses.
Right? Yeah.
Fuck, man. I want the glasses.
That little asshole.
Bret Hart's the shit.
Yeah, he was super good.
And then it's unfortunate how it ended, man, with Goldberg.
Really?
That was the last thing he said to him before they went out there. He's like, "Don't hurt me."
Yep.
And Goldberg hurt him.
Goldberg hurt him.
Kid him in the fucking head.
Yep.
Not
for
good.
Reals, yo. For reals.
For reals.
Got a potato, as they would call it. Got a potato.
Yeah, well, that was serious, man. That fucked him up.
Yeah, it was a concussion.
People say that's why it led to him having a stroke and shit.
Oh, they very well could have.
You know? It's brutal.
But it also could have been the years and years of the body abuse in the ring leading up to that. But I'm sure that didn't help anything.
But he's a guy who, I mean, I could see him being a really good coach as far as in-ring shit, telling his story, teaching these guys, a lot in the ring, without getting in the ring, obviously.
Well, right. I think he'd be one of the hardest coaches to be coached by. Yeah. But I think the final product that you'd get out of somebody who was coached by him would be fantastic.
Yeah, so. Definitely. And I don't know what he's up to these days. He doesn't really. I don't think he does much.
No, I mean, I don't know.
You hear him on podcasts here and there.
Right, and he'll. What was the last time we seen him on TV? Was it Sami Zayn when they brought Sami Zayn up for the
right.
So
I guess he does come back here and there.
Right.
But yeah, definitely. Probably overdue, but that's gonna. We said many times. The obvious guys were like. Yes.
Right, we don't get. Yeah, we're more excited about the obscure guys that we come up with. But I think I just wanted to throw a bone out to Casey, man.
There you go. Yeah, he definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. So.
Right.
And I'll be back next week with another fucking weird one.
That's right.
I don't know which one yet, but
I'm sure. Oh, we'll find one.
I was looking into the Wrestling Observer newsletter, which is by. Tuna Meltzer. No, okay. Meltzer does. That's the widely respected newsletter of wrestling for dirt and shit like that. The dirt sheet of dirt sheets.
Okay.
They have a Hall of Fame that actually people, writers and shit vote on. But the first class, when he started, he put 112 people in, I think, the first year. And now they put about 5 or 6 per year or whatever it is.
Right.
So, dude, I think that we can... I don't see us having a problem with this for years. Like, we can put a guy in every single week for years before we're gonna be like running out of people. So, you think in the history of time, how many people have wrestled?
Oh my God.
Thousands, 10,000s, right?
Tens of thousands, I would say. Are you talking just main promotions? Because if you want to get into the indies.
Well, I think eventually, there are indie guys who, like, already I would put a dude like fucking Ricochet into the Hall of Fame. Eventually, at some point. I don't think you have to be. Yeah, that's the thing that's different about this one is it doesn't matter. Like guys like you talked about earlier, Jerry Lynn. Jerry Lynn's a definite Hall of Famer for this Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
Will he ever get the WWE Hall of Fame? Fuck.
Hell no.
And he put on so many good matches in ECW and in WWE. When he was Mr. JL, remember that under a mask? Dude's a hell of a worker, Jerry Lynn.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But yeah. So, Bret Hart, man. That's good. I like it. If people haven't checked it out, you can go to our Facebook page. Under our albums, we have an album set up for the Hall of Fame. It has all of the inductees, and you can go through there. So who's who of wrestling, man? I'm just looking through it now. There's some good shit in here.
Yeah, that's all the people that matter in wrestling right there. That's what's in our Suplex City Limits Hall of Fame.
The most prestigious Hall of Fame in all of podcasting.
So I thought maybe we did kick this idea around. Do we want to do a Hall of Shame, apparently, eventually?
I was talking, Casey talked to me about that.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, no, we haven't been talking about a Hall of Shame. I don't know how many people we can really put in there, though. I've been trying to come up with a list one day, and it topped out at like 10 or 12.
Right. We don't have to put one in every week,
That's true. Well, let's do it. You want to put somebody in the Hall of Shame?
We want to start off with a Hall of Shame.
An undiscussed Hall of Shame?
An undiscussed... Oh, man, we haven't
discussed it
here.
yet.
Yeah, we have not discussed it. Let's kick the idea around before we start sticking folks in.
Next week, man, we'll put someone in there.
We'll have to do a Hall of Fame and Hall of Shame.
I mean, I think we could agree, like a good first member. I can come up.
Yeah, I think first two.
With.
I'm thinking 2 of them that we're not going to have any problems. They were mentioned earlier. Rewind and re-listen if you can't figure that one.
Oh yeah.
One for sure. I don't think we're going to have any problems agreeing on the second one, and third one maybe not too far behind.
Good shit.
Third one might even be a female.
Oh, yeah, I knew exactly where you're going with that, man. Definitely one of my top picks.
So,
definitely.
Oh man.
So next week, I don't know, man. We have next week's not in concrete yet, man. We'll have a surprise guest. I don't know. We'll do a Halloween show.
All right. Cool.
Do a Halloween episode. I think we'll talk some Halloween Havoc. Talk some horror movies. We'll just throw it on a Halloween-style episode.
I mean, since the current product's so fucking intriguing.
Yeah, well, we also will have, I guess we'll be reviewing Hell in a Cell as well on that, so.
Oh, yeah.
We'll recap Hell in a Cell. What a missed opportunity on having a Halloween show. Why is there no Halloween-themed pay-per-view a week before Halloween? I don't get it. Why isn't Halloween Havoc still a thing?
That's what I'm saying.
And the whole crowd could show up dressed up. Fuck, that would be fun.
Yeah. Well, you see, the whole crowd used to come dressed up, but then they kicked them out because they dressed up like macho. They're too much of a distraction. All them cats. You remember the Raw about 6 months back or whatever?
They kicked all those guys out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
It is fucking bullshit.
Fuck. You guys, that's your bread and butter right there. I bet you. I wonder if them cats even fucking watch wrestling still. I bet they don't.
I bet pissed off about it.
I was gonna say, fuck it, quit watching.
Yeah,
that's how you're gonna treat the people who,
They paid the most, dude. They were in the front fucking row.
Right? And they're gonna ask them to leave.
Yeah, they made them fucking put on different shit and go sit up.
Fuck. Right? Fuck off, man. Fuck that shit right in the fucking ass, man.
People call the NFL the No Fun League. It's like, yeah, WWE's almost the same way. Can we have fun?
Right? Well, I tell you what, man, those ringside seats aren't cheap, even at a house show.
Oh,
I can't remember. I paid $80 for mine. I was 6 rows back on a non-televised show. I'd hate to see what a fucking front row seat for a televised show goes for.
Yeah, fuck. Way more than I would pay.
Right. So.
I wouldn't want to go to a live event. I maybe go to a house show, but I wouldn't want to go to a Raw. Ugh.
You'd almost, if one did come around here, we'd almost have to, though.
Yeah, well, we don't have to worry about that.
No.
They don't even really do house shows here anymore.
Nope. Like I said, we had to. Well, they did one in Fargo.
Yeah, Fargo, but
they did Fargo, and they did Sioux Falls the night before. And that's the one that I made it to. No, we haven't seen them in Bismarck in about a decade. No. It hasn't been that long.
Yeah.
I was out in that one town that we're not going to discuss anymore. When the last time they came through.
Oh, they did.
Here, so yeah.
I didn't give a shit. 2011,
2012.
Well, next time they do, we're gonna go to that shit.
Yeah, we are. We're gonna have our Suplex City Limits fucking posters.
For no reason.
For no reason
For
at
no
all.
cameras.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, there'll be like 10 people there.
Right. There you go.
Oh man.
Do a Suplex City Limits meet and greet.
Yep. So that about wraps it up for us, huh? That's wrapping it up. Where are you going to get some grub now? We'll talk a little more food here.
Where am I gonna eat?
Yeah, what are you guys gonna do for eating?
I don't know. I don't know if she's gonna make me any food. Let me look here. Let me gauge. I'm looking at her. It doesn't look like it.
No, you're getting a no food. You're getting a no food eyes.
I get a head shake no, but she's not looking at me. So
no, okay. All right,
I don't think that means that I'm gonna get food. I may be eating cereal. For dinner.
I would like to refer to myself as a cereal connoisseur.
Yeah.
I think we discussed this.
Some Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Got some Crunch Berries.
Oh, what about the Lucky Charms with nothing but marshmallows?
That's
hello, diabetes.
Oh, hello, Beatus.
It's been so long.
Just marshmallows, dude. That's nonsense.
Oh, that's
Is that
crazy.
a thing? Like you can buy it now? I heard about it.
Yeah, they're doing it for so long or something.
They're rainbow colored, right?
Yeah, they're rainbow colored. So
for the awareness and such.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
they're not gay, but they're just really supportive.
Yeah. Eating them won't make you gay, but
it just make you very supportive of them gay folk.
Yeah. I support gay rights. I bought rainbow all marshmallow Lucky Charms.
That's right.
You did your part.
That's right. Way to go. Way to save the world. One box of cereal at a time.
One box of marshmallows at a time.
That's right, man. That's right.
USA.
Only America and marshmallows.
Oh, man.
I'm going down the street to get me a big-ass fucking burrito from Poncheros. If you don't have a Poncheros in your town, you're fucking missing out, because that's the best thing ever.
That's a good call.
One of my favorites, yeah.
So, we'll see. Next week, Halloween episode. It's going to be a good time. We'll do that. That week after that. Next week is not Halloween. I'm sorry. Next week is just a standard show. Week after is Halloween show. And then week after that, we have Krista Joseph from Lucha Underground. Yay. It'll be fantastic. Yeah, but we'll break it up, man. We pounded a lot of guests out lately, and maybe we'll fucking have to have somebody, a mystery partner on one of those episodes. So stay tuned on our Facebook, Suplex City Limits, on Twitter, @Suplex City Limit, and you'll hear it first. So that is the week. That is the show.
Pretty smooth one this week, sir.
Pretty smooth.
That's right, smooth.
So thank you as always for listening, supporting the show. We'll be back next week with more shenanigans from the world of wrestling. And may you get all the dick and pussy that you desire. And remember that a winner is